Welcome to another edition of Pittsburgh Sportsline Live in the BPTV studio. Thanks for watching us. I'm Al Levine, the Talking Machine. I got Chip Hayner with me. Got Smoking Jim Frazier there. And we're going to do our live show here. Thanks for watching us on Comcast 7, only in Bethel Park. Verizon 32 in Bethel Park and the surrounding area from Nemacolin to Cranberry and Wexford. We appreciate all of you watching the show, and thanks for watching another show. We got a lot of great sports to talk about. Thanks for all the likes and watching our shows on Facebook. We appreciate that. We're up to 6,756. We dropped about 10, but like my daughter Casey told me years ago, don't worry, Dad, there's always some haters. They like you, then they get away from you, and they just work with us, so we appreciate that. And I was at the pizza shop and talked to George, and he said, hey, how long you been doing your show? Because I delivered pizzas up to the theater, and they said, we're ordering pizzas because that Al Levine talks on Sportsline about getting pizzas at 412-831-1900, Olive Oil's Pizzeria. So I said, hey, thanks for sharing that info with me, and whoever's watching, order those pizzas now. They'll make them up fresh. We appreciate it. I got some promos to show you. And the first one I'm going to show, I don't know if I need Jacob to adjust this, but I got my first promo right here. Olive Oil's Pizzeria. Jacob, that's great. Great camera work there. I appreciate that, buddy. You come back strong. Call 412-831-1900. They give us an extra large pizza and a hoagie. Smoking Jim still left a piece because he's still writing his opening monologue. He's going to knock it out of the ballpark. But this one I'm going to switch up, Jacob. I'm going to be emceeing an event called the Bethel Park Flood Relief Family Fun Festival at Independence Middle School. Sunday, 4 o'clock to 7. My friend Bob Ridgway has his group Shady Mugs playing. There's vendors, there's truck vendors, there's raffle tickets. They got raffle baskets, live music, a Kids Zone. They got sponsors. They got people coming from everywhere to help promote it. It's been on TV, local TV station. They've been promoting it. A lot of people in the area are putting it up there on Facebook. I'll put it on my page tomorrow to give you some more details of the Bethel Park Flood Relief Family Fun Festival. So check that out. Sunday, 4 o'clock to 7. I'll be emceeing it. Mayor Jack Allen will be there. I heard he's going to be around, and many other people from Bethel Park community. We appreciate all your help. If you need to call to find out more, call 412-260-6073 and ask for Megan. Megan's one of the fine ladies that is putting this together and making it a success. So thanks for all your help to help the Bethel Park flood relief victims. So we'll have a fun time on Sunday. Now, I'm also with the Community Foundation. This is bpcf.org. They have money for you from $100 to $5,000 for your group in the Bethel Park area. I even think the Family Fun Flood Relief, they'll be getting some money from that Bethel Park Community Foundation. So check it out. Get an application at bpcf.org. And you can find out more there. Appreciate that. Let's see what else I got. The Bethel Park Historical Society Schoolhouse Arts and History Center. They're a 501c3 doing a lot of great things in the Bethel Park area. They just got 5,000 new windows. So check out the place. They rent to local businesses. They have different events at different times of the year. Check them out. You can donate money to their 501c3, Bethel Park Historical Society. check them out. It's right where that trolley is on South Park Road. Oh, thanks for looking at me. I'm still promoting the Bethel Park Historical Society. That's better. Now we end each show with Stay Joey Strong. It's a Joey Favis Childhood Cancer Foundation. They're doing a lot of great things. They're a 501c3. They've donated about $100,000 to find a cure for DIPG, which is a death sentence to these kids that are diagnosed with it. And my heart goes out to them. Joey Favis's dad, Dave, just went through a heart transplant about 3-4 weeks ago. He's recovering nicely. What more can one family take and go through? But they're strong. They're an inspiration to me. And you don't have to focus on my face, but we'll do one last promo here. Dave Cable likes to have a little fun at my expense. Uncle Al wants you. That's me with my face on Uncle Sam. Tell them Uncle Al sent you to BPTV to help out. Just like Johnny's here, Jacob's here helping out. I want you for BPTV, 412-831-3304. And you can come out here in the studio and do camera work, sound work like we're doing. We're putting on a show with a couple guys that normally aren't here because they're volunteers here at BPTV. Thanks again, and we're going to start our show with What's on Your Mind. You can, Jacob, put the camera on me because this is live TV. You don't have to show me shuffling the papers here. We'll handle this. What's on Your Mind is sponsored by Skeets Lewandowski. That's our man Skeets. He wears many hats in the boxing community, but he works on anything and everything that runs on gas. Believe me, he's helped me out. 724-348-4715. Give him a call. Tell him your Uncle Al sent you to Skeets Service Station. It's past Mineral Beach and Trax Farm. You can't miss it on 88. It's a red, white, and blue area. They got an American flag out there, and it says Skeets Service Station. They will work on your car, your boat, your truck, your weed whacker, you name it. That's what I got for you. Now I got to ask Smoking Jim Frazier, what's on your mind, Smoking Jim Frazier?
Thanks, Al Levine, the talking machine. And if you want the green,
there you go, buddy.
See,
get that camera there. You got to focus on.
This one,
get my man Smoking Jim Frazier. Nice catch, Smoking.
Hey, thanks very much. And
we'll get this camera straightened out because I'll just keep talking and they can. There we go.
Look at that handsome mug.
There he is.
I appreciate Johnny Be Good back there. My main man's back there today.
Johnny Mariano's here.
But I tell you what, when you can't work your GPS real good, they write out the directions for you how to get where you need to go. Little old school, yeah. Little old school.
But that map is accurate, to be very honest.
Get you where you need to be. I spent some time last week in Canton, Ohio for the NFL.
This looks like Pittsburgh.
There you go. I spent some time in Canton, Ohio last week at the NFL Hall of Fame. Congratulations to all the inductees.
Well, you had to see your hero.
Greatest football player ever seen. Offense, defense, special teams.
What a speech he gave.
Anybody.
What a speech he gave.
Who, Joe Green?
No, Ray Lewis was the greatest I ever seen.
What a speech he gave. I don't believe a word of it. I don't think he's sincere at all. I think he's a phony.
Oh, come
Just
on.
my humble
One
opinion.
phony on the football field. That's all I know. But hey,
where was the white suit?
That's what he needed.
Well, what's on my mind is, I tell you what, man.
What is on your mind?
Just a couple of things. I tell you what, I'm a big Clint Eastwood fan.
Me too.
I really didn't realize that my favorite Clint Eastwood movie, and I've been watching it every day for about a week, Hang 'em High.
Oh, that's
Man,
a good one.
that was a good movie, man. After the show, I'm going to go back and watch it again, man.
Go look at Fistful of Dollars. Check that out.
High Plains Drifter is one of my personal favorites.
Over Hang 'em High?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But, hey, I got a question for you guys, and you don't have to answer it. But it hit me last night. I was wondering why so many Asian women are dominating professional golf, but you don't have any Asian men doing well. I don't know if anybody have a 10-foot pole they want to touch that with, but maybe that's food for thought. Maybe y'all can get back to me next week on that. 8 out of the top 10 women golfers are Asian. But so, anywho, that's
I got nothing for you.
you got nothing for
I got nothing for
nobody
you
got
on
a
that.
10-foot pole.
No,
But
I
hope-
have a 10-foot pole. I'll touch it.
Okay.
They might be in the top 10 because they're doing so well.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. There you go. I
I get right to the point.
I got some theories on that, but hey,
Why
how
don't you
about-
tell us?
How about my Buccos? 4-7 in the last 11 games. But
Thank you,
we'll
Mr.
talk
Negative.
about that. I'm still sad
We'll
But
end
they
the
got-
show with Bucko talk.
that they got rid of the best prospect they had in Austin Meadows since
He wasn't
Barry
even-
Bonds.
He wasn't even the best prospect.
In my opinion, best prospect
well,
I've
then
seen.
not that it has anything to do with the truth.
Meanwhile, what happened to Adam Frazier?
Huh?
He's hitting left-handers like crazy, and they didn't play him the other day.
I like
What
it.
happened with that?
Yeah, a little bit of reverse discrimination is going on. But how about when I told everybody that I would have traded Juju before Martavis Bryant? I didn't think that Juju was a blue-collar city player, and they think that he wasn't focused in the offseason, traveled all over the world, and now he's pretty much screwing up in practice. I would have sent him to the West Coast where he belongs. But who
I
knows?
haven't given up on him yet.
Yeah, you can't win championships with guys like that. But anyhow, that's just my
We haven't
opinion.
won championships in so many years with the guys we do have.
Yeah, because they got this Antonio Holmes curse. But what's on my
No, they have
mind?
the Le'Veon Bell curse.
Le'Veon Bell curse is another one. Hey, what's on my mind is T.O. inspired me. T.O. in his speech, Hall of Fame speech, he inspired me. And because of T.O., I'm decided I'm putting in some people in the City League of Hall of Fame that I said I would never put in. And
I can't wait to hear this.
although I will not put in the arrogant folks that played in the Connie Hawkins Summer Basketball League. So if you're in the Connie Hawkins Summer Basketball League Hall of Fame and in the Ozenham Hall of Fame that's ran by Dap Porter, and you're not in the City League Hall of Fame, I'm talking about you. You'll never get in. But here's some of the people that I'm putting in this year. The 1989 Perry Football State Championship team.
Yeah.
I always said that Dr. Hart, a friend of mine and a friend of the show's, backstabbed me by not putting his son in the Gateway. And I don't think that's a reason to keep somebody
As
out of the Hall
I
of Fame.
disagree with you normally, he didn't backstab you. He took care of his son.
Well, let me see how well he's taking care of his son. His son is the best wide receiver I've seen since Larry Fitzgerald.
Okay.
6'3", 200 pounds. The biggest scholarship he received this year, and he accepted it, was Ball State. Last I checked, they don't really play football down there. Harvey Smith took his son out of Gateway, put him in Penn Hills, best running back in the state, just signed a full scholarship to Howard University. Gateway has a receiver that nobody ever heard of named Corey Jackson. His 5 on his list is USC, Michigan State, Notre Dame. So you go to Gateway, you can play big-time football. You don't go to the Gateway, you go to Ball State and Howard University. But I'm putting they had punishment enough, so I'm putting the 1989 Perry's only state championship ever in City League. How about Fred Marshall? Just gave $25,000 to Westinghouse. Great quarterback, worthy of going in the Hall of Fame. And his son is Brandon Marshall.
Wow.
Fred Marshall is a great quarterback. We're putting him in with that big paycheck. How about Dana Knapp? Dana Knapp, her brother, I used to call the left-handed Dan Marino, Scott Knapp. Nobody's heard from him since he's been offensive coordinator junior out of college. But Dana's going in with her good looks. And she was a great athlete, too. And last
That's a bonus. That's a
but not
bonus
least,
for the-
putting 20 people in, Congratulations. I counted the votes. A lot of people didn't feel like he would go in with only one championship, but when I'm counting the votes, and he's a friend of the show, and I think he's deserving to go in the Hall of Fame. Now, there was a coach from Perry that had 7 City League championships. We only put one coach in a year. And so he come in second to a coach that won one championship in 30 years. Friend of the show, Pat Carmack.
Yay.
You are a Hall of Famer. And that's what's on my mind.
Wow.
City
Thanks.
League Hall of Fame, November 3rd.
Wow.
At the Marriott, right across from the Center City Marriott, right across from the Consol Energy Center.
Wow. Nice, Smoking
And the
Jim.
brothers trying to park your car, they don't have the valet parking there. Just trying to let you know. Watch you toss your keys.
Make sure your insurance premiums are paid.
Smoking Jim, I think you can just pull in, get a tag, and then park your own car.
Like in inside a garage?
Yeah.
You know how many people was going to be there that night?
Oh, Smoking Jim,
12,
you get there
13,
early.
As many people that saw T.O. T.O.'s speech, right?
You got to get there early, get your tag,
all
and go
15
park.
of them, right? And we got to listen to him cry. It was the media's fault that the people have such a bad opinion about him.
Wow. Well, thank you, Smoking Jim. Let me ask Chip Hayner, then Jacob can adjust the camera here. Chip Hayner, what's on your mind?
Oh, thank you, Alan. And
This
good
will
evening.
happen in a second.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. We're gonna
Jacob is
get
good.
ourselves- Yeah, he is. He's light on his feet. But anyhow,
Excellent.
so
No pun.
first off, want to wish a very happy birthday to number 87, Sidney Crosby, 31 years old today. Want to make sure
Yeah.
we give some good wishes out to Sid the Kid, 3-time Stanley Cup champion. Also wanted to make note of another birthday for somebody this year who is the only person to have accomplished this feat in the history of Major League Baseball. This goes back to 1857. Happy birthday to the only man to throw a perfect game in the 1956 World Series,
Yeah.
Don Larson.
Excellent.
He's still alive, Jim. He's still alive.
He's like you. We don't know his age.
And one of the greatest hockey players that ever lived. Okay, now Jim likes to think that Wayne Gretzky's the greatest hockey player that ever lived, and I would argue that Wayne Gretzky, I would say, would be on an even par with Gordie Howe. Okay, but Gordie Howe played for 4 decades. But one of the greatest Chicago Blackhawks of all time passed away today. Stan Mikita.
Yeah, I saw that.
Stan Mikita passed away.
He's been sick for a while.
22 years he played in the NHL. And
didn't know that.
he was a goal-scoring machine for the Blackhawks of the 60s and 70s.
Yeah.
Tony Esposito was the goaltender for the Blackhawks back
Oh,
then.
wow.
Phil's brother, but you knew that.
He didn't know Phil. He doesn't know Phil.
No, but the young man that passed away was the first to do a hat trick on the Penguins.
Very well could be. There's
Don't believe
Where'd you hear that?
I'm skeptical. I mean, I'll be fact-checking you at the commercial break.
Hold it, Smoking Jim. We know you're not a big hockey guy.
That was one of my favorites. Right?
You must have heard it on the radio today.
Yeah, but anyhow, so you asked me what's on my mind, and I'm kind of amused by some of the things I hear from social media, and the one thing that I will never be a party to is Twitter, and I just think that's the biggest waste of time on the planet. But ever since the Pirates made some trades last week, and they did some things last week that this Pirates management team has never done. They finally gave up some of their prospects for major league talent. So now all of a sudden, all of the experts out there on social media and that all the call-in radio programs have all the solutions to how the Pirates are going to win all the rest of their games. And you want to know something? All of these people that seem to think that they know what the Pirates should do, what they shouldn't do. They need to just sit back and watch the baseball games and let the season play itself out, because baseball's a funny game. Just when you think you've got it figured out, it figures you out. And apparently the people that we have running our organization have an idea of what they're doing. They had a plan, and the plan is bearing fruit now. And you know what? So instead of the uneducated looking for reasons to be upset with the Pirates, why can't we just enjoy what we've got, which is a baseball team that's competitive in a year when nobody thought that we would finish anything higher than in last place in the major leagues and get the first pick in the draft? So here's what. We got 50 some odd games left.
Yeah.
I'm going to sit back and enjoy the season, and whatever's going to happen, it's going to happen. It certainly isn't going to be because the Pirates management team sat on its hands at the trade deadline. They made moves. It's up for the players to play the game, and winning streak starts tonight. But that's what's on my mind.
All right. Thanks, Chip Hayner. What's on my mind is I'm a bit of a history buff with baseball. And last night, the Yankees played the White Sox. And what's on my mind is they had a player come in, and he struck out, the guy's name was Davison, come in and pitched, threw a curveball and struck out Stanton. Giancarlo Stanton struck out. Now, only one other guy, or maybe two guys, have done this in history. The guy that they mentioned that Davison's in the same camp with is Babe Ruth. Babe Ruth, I think at the time, had 11 or 15 home runs and was a strikeout pitcher. This guy has, I think, either 11 or 15 home runs, and he struck out Giancarlo Stanton. So him and Babe Ruth are in the same neighborhood. So imagine that. Isn't that the Chip's talking about the beauty of baseball going back to 1857? I'm talking about in the whole history of that time, there's only two guys that have pitched and struck out a guy and hit maybe a dozen home runs. So imagine that for history. So that was on my mind.
And a classic argument for why we should ban the DH.
Nice little segue to that. I'm for you. They should have never had the DH. There shouldn't be a difference in either league. And it takes so much away from the game of baseball and the way you manage a game, because Smoking Jim is a lazy guy by nature. He's stubborn. But he'd have a DH batting all the time. First or last, he wouldn't care. But he wouldn't have that pitcher do it, because I want you to pitch. And you were homeschooled to pitch that, so I want you to stay that way. But that's why we have our differing opinions. And I want to thank you again for watching the show. We're going to go to a commercial break, and then we're coming back to talk fiction and fact with Smoking Jim's Almanac. From a very young age, I was exposed to sports in a great way. My uncle was on the first pro basketball team in Pittsburgh, the Pittsburgh Ironmen. And my dad, of course, that was my hero. He was a basketball referee for over 30 years. Just been a passion in my life. And as I got older, I found out about horses, and I ended up owning a stable. And I was asked to be on a sports show with Roger Houston called the Meadows Racing Network. And when we were done, I said, boy, that'd be something great. Maybe someday I could have a TV show. Back in 2011, I had a conversation with some friends about sports that piqued my interest in how could we start a sports talk show on TV. Well, I found out I could go to public access TV in Bethel Park, and I'd be able to produce my own sports talk TV show. The great thing about doing two sports talk shows on BPTV is I can share my passion about sports with thousands of people every week. If you are passionate about something that you would like to share with the community, I encourage you to come to BPTV and produce a show like I do. I'm Al Levine, volunteer producer of Pittsburgh Sportsline on BPTV.
Levine, the talking machine. This is a great day for me
What happened?
because I just got the chance to see my fellow Gateway alum, Zach, is here, man.
As we all know, Smoking Jim's a little bit of an embellishing type of guy, and
We're recruiting him.
I wouldn't want to say a liar, but his mother told him no to recruiting Zach to Gateway.
And you know women changed their mind.
She did. She made it a stronger no that that's not happening. So, again, Smoking Jim, as all of you that follow him on Facebook, he stretches the parameters of truth that become a little crazy there. So,
Well, I got a little fiction and fact from Smoking Jim's Almanac, and I tell you what, you can kind of tie some of the things in we've been talking about with Zach
Gateway?
and others. Yeah. Now that Randy Moss is in the Hall of Fame, NFL Hall of Fame,
yeah.
the greatest high school football game I ever seen was in West Virginia when J.R. House in a state championship football game.
You've told us about
through
this.
13 touchdown passes.
You've told us this.
But he wasn't the offensive MVP. He was the defensive MVP of the game after throwing 13 touchdown passes, which was a national record. But he was so great on defense as well, they gave him the defensive MVP, gave the wide receiver the offensive MVP. Well, I went down and seen this basketball player play when he was in 10th grade by the name of Randy Moss. Didn't know he played any football, skinny kid. I heard he was a state champ in track, but I wanted to see the white guy.
Yeah.
They had a guard, a point guard.
Because you don't practice reverse discrimination, just discrimination.
Yeah, Jason Williams, they called him White Chocolate. Well, I mean, it was an exciting game. One slam dunk after another, one alley-oop after another. Well, Jason Williams was a year ahead of Randy Moss. So their junior year, Randy Moss averaged 40 points a game. Jason Williams averaged 30 points a game. They were the number one ranked team in the nation in high school basketball, but they could not play in the playoffs because they had to forfeit their games because the third best player on the team ended up got caught having sex with a teacher. And the only bad part about that, he was being homeschooled. But anyhow, that was one of the greatest teams. That was one of the greatest teams of all time. Randy Moss, who I didn't even know played football, was one of the greatest basketball players you ever want to see. Jason Williams, White Chocolate, went on to be an NBA exciting point guard. And I found out later that Randy Moss ended up, in my opinion, is the greatest wide receiver to ever play 1A to Jerry Rice's 1B. Congratulations, Randy Moss. They say you come a long way. You really matured. I haven't seen that much of a difference yet, but people seem to see it on TV. But keep doing good work. And he went back to West Virginia to wear his gold jacket. And congratulations. And a friend of the show, the Vaquan Kimbrough's wife, went to high school with him. They're good friends. She's friends with the Moss family.
What a small world.
They all grew up in the same little ghetto out there. Yep.
Smoking Jim, I appreciate how complimentary
Two
you are.
success stories coming out of that small little ghetto.
I appreciate how
they blew up the high school.
You don't let any discrimination or prejudice jade any of your comments, and all the statements are yours
the
only.
The area was so poor, they tore down the high school, and they had to bus them somewhere else. They couldn't afford to keep that high school going. But hey, some great people came out of there.
Thank
and
you,
that's
Smoking
what's on
Jim.
my mind. There's a lot in prison too. From there as
Any
well.
more negative thoughts from you, Smoking
Just
Jim?
saying.
Was the community
You
not?
can either go to Yale or you can go to jail coming out of that community.
Was the community that had these problems 95% black?
All black, yeah, all black. If you white, you go in that neighborhood, brother, you better be with somebody black. You better go get you a princess.
The fans of Smoking Jim Frazier, you're seeing a rare glimpse at how he truly is. He just can't hold it in very long. Thank you, Smoking Jim. We're going to move on to Chip Hainer.
Hi, I'm Becky Jackie Lazier. I'm the president of the Black Hawk Family Relief Fund, and I want to provide a little information about how you can get access to our resources. First, you can find us by searching Black Hawk Family Relief Fund at the search bar at the top of your Facebook. And you can join our page from there. We share a lot of information that way. We're working on getting a website up as well, and you can also contact me directly by emailing us at blackhawkfamilyrelieffund@yahoo.com. If you're interested in supporting the fund, we have a GoFundMe page and an online t-shirt fundraiser that's posted there on our Facebook page. You're also able to make donations in person at any Citizens Bank branch by asking them to look up the fund. And we are also accepting mail. If you want to mail in your donation, our address is Black Hawk Family Relief Fund, 2765 South Park Road, P.O. Box 105, and that's Bethel Park, Pennsylvania, 15102. Thank you.
This was a scary moment for Elliott Sadler and everyone at Richard Petty Motorsports. Thankfully, the folks at NASCAR have taken every precaution to ensure the safety of our drivers. And I hope you do the same thing when you get in your car. The Department of Transportation says distracted drivers are 4 times more likely to be in a serious accident. Buckle up, watch the road, and please do not text and drive. It could be the last text you ever sent. This message is brought to you by the U.S. Air Force.
Thursday night,
Yeah.
Steelers preseason football schedule starts.
All right.
And the Steelers will play none less than the
Champs.
defending world champion Philadelphia Eagles. And, you know, in the Steelers and the Eagles, there's always been a rivalry between the two cities. But, hey, they defeated the Evil Empire last year, so we got to have a little bit of a soft spot in our heart for the Eagles, which brought me to my trivia subject for this week. At one time, the Steelers and the Eagles merged for a season, and their nickname was the Steagles. So I am going to break it down to you how this happened, why this happened, and what the results of the season were. And do you know that the Eagles were not the only team that the Steelers merged with
Yes.
during World War II?
I didn't know that.
You see that?
Yes.
The Steagles were the team created by the temporary merger of 2 NFL teams, the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Philadelphia Eagles, during the 1943 season. The teams were forced to merge because both had lost many players to military service during World War II. The league's official record book refers to the team as the Phil Pitt Combine, but the unofficial Steagles, despite never being registered by the NFL, has become the enduring moniker. The prospect of a unified Pittsburgh-Philadelphia team actually predated World War II by several years. The Pennsylvania Keystoners were a team that was proposed in 1939.
Wow.
Conceived with the intention of the Steelers and the Eagles owners buying into one of the two teams, then spinning the other off to an ownership group in Boston, Massachusetts. League officials rejected the plan, though it would have resulted in a convoluted ownership two-step that left Eagles owner Bert Bell with a share in the Steelers franchise.
Wow.
America entered World War II on December 7th, 1941, with the attack on Pearl Harbor, and most men who were of age to play professional football were also of age to fight for the country. 600 NFL players joined the armed forces. How many do you think would join the armed forces these days?
2.
Feeling that the country at war still needed entertainment and sports were a much-needed diversion, President Franklin D. Roosevelt issued an inspirational message focused on the importance of Major League Baseball. to Americans' morale. He made no mention of football during that address, as baseball far surpassed football in popularity at the time. However, in the 1943 annual spring meeting, the NFL decided to follow baseball's lead and continue to play. Draft deferments. The young men who remained in the States to play football were deferred from the draft, which means that they didn't have to go fight in the war if they were drafted, okay? The Steagles players were either unfit for military service for physical reasons or age, or active servicemen who had obtained leave to play. 3 types of deferments. Now, this is where it gets interesting. Okay? The first group called 3As. If a man was supporting a family, the draft board would not make him a priority. The government defined 3As as a father whose child or children were born or conceived prior to the attack on Pearl Harbor. The cutoff date for birth was September 15th, 1942. Precisely 9 months and 1 week after Pearl Harbor.
Wow.
The second group consisted of those men who worked in the war industry, producing and preparing ammunition, weapons, and materials. The third group, the 4 Fs.
What was the second group? I'm sorry, Chip.
People that worked in the war industries.
Okay, I got you.
Okay?
I got you. Yeah.
Making
Makes
Ammo.
sense.
ammo and tanks
Makes
and
sense.
planes and such.
Thank
The
you.
third group, 4 Fs, were those deemed physically unfit due to ailments such as ulcers, flat feet, and even partial blindness. Most NFL football players wanted to join the war. In the early 40s, it was considered a patriotic duty to fight for your country. For the men who played professional football, being classified 4F could be considered an embarrassment. There was a feeling that if a man could play football, he could fight in the war. One Steagle and future Hall of Famer Bill Hewitt quit in the middle of the season. He could not take the ridicule and subsequent guilt feelings anymore. Hewitt was good enough to be inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 1971. However, the players were not making decisions on who could or could not fight. Men with flat feet were not drafted. They could lead normal lives and even play football, but the Army deemed that flat feet were not conducive to marching long distances. Similar reasons existed for the 4F deferments, but numerous NFL players had medical problems that kept them out of the military. Tony Bova, the Steagles' leading receiver with 17 receptions, was blind in one eye and partially blind in the other. Steagles guard Ed Michael was nearly deaf. Center Ray Graves was deaf in one ear. One starting defensive end was blind in one eye and nearly legally blind in the other. The Steelers' tailback, John Butler, made his first start one day after being ruled 4F by his draft board for poor eyesight and bad knees. So these are some of the things that I found easy. So to just give you a quick breakdown of what happened in that season of 1943, Philadelphia's Greasy Neal and Pittsburgh's Walt Kiesling, the head coaches of each team, would be co-head coaches because each coach refused to be demoted.
Sure.
This led to several problems. The
They were
first being
stubborn.
that the two men hated each other. Secondly, even Kiesling's own players did not like him, so asking the Eagles players to like him was too much to ask. However, Neal took advantage when Kiesling was delayed en route to camp, which was held at St. Joseph's College in Philadelphia. By the time Kiesling arrived, Neal already had the offense learning the T formation, which was all the rage in those days because of the success of college football by Frank Leahy at Notre Dame and Red Blyak at Army.
Wow.
Okay? The conflict led Neal to serving as the team's offensive coordinator, while Kiesling served as defensive coordinator. They would then split head coaching duties. According to defensive back Ernie Steele, the situation between the two coaches got so bad that Kiesling and Neal walked off to the field after a heated argument in practice the Friday before a game. They returned for the game, but the players were nonetheless stunned. However, the Steagles in 1943 and the Card Pitt team in 1944 reverted to using the single wing formation. So the Steagles of 1943, they had a record. They played 10 games that year. Their record was 5-4-1.
Okay.
And they ended up in third place out of a 4-team division. The Washington Redskins were first place, 6-3-1. The New York Giants, 6-3-1. The Steagles, 5-4-1. And the Brooklyn Dodgers were 2-8. But after the 1943 season, the Steelers did merge with the Chicago Cardinals for the 1944 season. I didn't know that. Created a team known as Card Pit. The Card Pit team was derisively called Carpet due to going winless, and the commentary that every team walked all over them. Wow. So, so now you've got an idea of how and why the Steagles came into existence, the history, the facts about it. Save that information for Jim.
Thank you.
I learned a little something new, the Card Pit team.
I didn't know what their record was, but I heard that Card Pit before. So.
Yeah, they.
My first time hearing it.
Oh, that's all right, Smoking Jim. You're like a new babe on the show. We try to educate you, and you try to disrespect it and don't like the certain things.
On that team.
I understand that.
Well,
I was waiting for that. It was a whole different era, Smoking Jim.
They were banned. They were banned from the NFL.
They let Indians play. All right. Well, thank you, Chip Hayner.
Good job, Chip.
Appreciate the trivia. Learned a bunch more.
One of the things we do at BPTV is encourage our producers to film on location. Not only does shooting on location give our producers the opportunity to take advantage of their subject matter, filming in different locations gives each program its own distinct flavor. This also helps anyone who's flipping through the channels avoid confusion when they turn on BPTV. With around 500 programs produced at BPTV each year, the last thing we want people to think is that we're only broadcasting one program. So, you need to come into BPTV to pitch your TV show, but in terms of where you actually end up taping your show, the sky's the limit.
Thanks again, guys. We appreciate you filming this. On Location is next week, August 13th, 9:30 Brookline Boulevard. $5 large one-topping pizzas, $5 large hoagies. That's Olive Oil's Pizzeria. Frank Fanera is having us there. He just asked me the other day when we're coming out. It's August 13th, and we'll have some fun there. We've got to check with our guests. We'll be doing a show 7:30 to 8:30 on August 13th. So come on out to Brookline Boulevard, 930 Brookline Boulevard. Pizza's just as good as it is here in Bethel Park, so appreciate that. And that's what we got going on next week. But on a sad note, I got a phone call from Coach Rock, and I wanted to share this with Chip and Jim. And his dad died. We know he was sick. Well, his dad died, and he didn't have much insurance, and they left it all on Rock. Nobody else is helping out. He ends up owing $2,900. So if you could donate any money to Coach Rock, see Smoking Jim or I, and we'll try to get the money to Coach Rock so he can bury his dad. He was a veteran. You only get $250 to bury a vet, and it costs much more than that. And he is $2,900 short. So anybody that knows us and knows boxing knows Coach Rock, what a good guy he does, what he does in the community. He was just inducted into the Pittsburgh Sportsline Hall of Fame for all the good things he does and the help he does to the community, and he's in dire need right now. He did call me and leave a message and said to try to get back to him, so I said I would try to promote this. So I'm telling you that Coach Rock needs help. Any boxers, trainers, anybody out there, even friends of our show, if you want to try to donate to Coach Rock, let me know. You can call me on my cell, 412-973-9611. All right, we're going to close this segment back, and we should get another commercial, and we'll go to a commercial break, and we'll talk Pirates for a few minutes to end the show.
Dave Cable, the man you trust to run your BPTV station. But do you really know Dave Cable? You may think you know, but you don't. Did you know that Dave Cable controls oil prices? Dave Cable is also best friends with Satan. He also hates puppies. That's right, puppies. Not to mention penguins. You know that monster under your bed? That's Dave Cable. Some scientists even believe that he is actually Darth Vader. Experts also say that Dave Cable is Osama bin Laden. You decide. Dave Cable doesn't even run BPTV. He chains interns and volunteers to desks and makes them do his work for him. Just listen to this video of Dave Cable that was not edited in any way.
I would like to eat your children.
Do you want a man like Dave Cable in charge of BPTV? I know I don't.
I'm Dave Cable, and I do not approve this message. I mean, seriously, guys, I teach you Photoshop, and this is how you treat me? Come on!
When I was younger, I didn't want to admit I had a serious disease. I wanted to fit in. I wanted to be a normal kid. Because of my diabetes, I lost the sight in my left eye. Misconceptions continue to surround this monster public health issue. But the simple truth is, diabetes can often be prevented and complications avoided. I think if I had just been open and honest about what my challenges were, I think it would have been easier for me to take better care of myself. If you don't take care of yourself when you're younger with this condition, it will catch up to you later on. You're going to find the courage to manage this disease for the rest of your life by reaching out for help. Reach out to people who care about you, reach out to people who know how to help you with this disease. You're not alone. Understand the realities of diabetes and know that you can manage it and lead a full, active life.
So you've got a song about where to call for government information?
Check this out. We got the benefits and services that'll make you smile to get the answers you need. Put us on speed dial.
That is gold, Your Honor.
We're going to end this show with some Pirate talk. Smoking Jim brought up about a 4-7 record the last 11 games. He's right. but it's a 162 game season. We had winning streaks the first month of the season. They did well. We had one of the best Julys that we had. It forced the Pirate management to do something they've never done here. They hired a couple players that are good to try to have us have a run at the second wild card team, which Smokin' Jim will disrespect that because you only play one game, and what's that matter? You got to win a division. I'll take any win to get second place or whatever in the wild card. We'll take it. We'll see what happens. To me, I don't care who owns the team. Bottom line, Bob, whoever he is, I could care less. I watch the players on the team. I see a lot of good things. I see a lot of bad things. You're going to have that. You got inconsistencies all throughout the team. Look, you got Cervelli playing first base, and he has almost no range to get a ball.
But I tell you what, I watched him Saturday night, and the reason the Pirates lost that game was not because of Cervelli.
No, I'm not blaming him.
He played adequately.
I just want to bring up the point. Clint Hurdle said we don't have much range on our team when we had Bell playing. The only one he didn't talk poorly about was Josh Harrison because he got a wide range. But Mercer doesn't move that far. They call Colin Moran a statue, that he doesn't move that much.
Well, so
but these are the things that we work with, and we're still having some good play from these players, and it comes from all these areas. So glad Cervelli's off the DL. Hope he can play, and he has hit pretty well this year.
So yesterday the Pirates made a trade with the Rays. It was actually a waiver wire pickup because they designated him for assignment, Andy Hechavarria, who is a utility infielder. I have a feeling he may end up taking the place of Sean Rodriguez. And the Pirates picked up somebody else off the waiver wire just this evening, a left-handed pitcher named Buddy Boshers off the waiver wire from the Astros.
Wow.
And he's a left-handed specialist, and he may be somebody that they got a lot of right-handed arms in the bullpen with the exception of Vasquez. So, he was in AAA all year, never made it to the big club. But when you've got a pitching staff as stacked as the Astros, it's kind of hard to make, to make room for somebody.
Sure.
They probably have the best starting five of any pitching staff in
Hold
baseball.
it. Here's what I see across the screen.
None.
I'm watching ESPN. I see Morton. I'm thinking, where do I know Morton? Charlie Morton, throwing 90-mile-per-hour fastballs, goes to Houston, throwing 96, 97, 12-2, 2.82 ERA. The water must be great down in Houston's all I can say because Garrett Cole's having a fantastic year.
They've got McQuayers, they've got Verlander, they've got now Garrett Cole, they've got Charlie Morton, and
a few others.
And so they've got a very, very strong pitching staff. So,
that's baseball.
No,
they blew up their team. Smokin' Jim would have been crying like a baby if he was in Houston. They got rid of everybody.
Houston and Boston are going to beat the snot out of each other, and whoever wins out of those two is probably going to win the series this year. The Red Sox are on pace to win, I'd say.
113.
In the neighborhood of 115 games. The Yankees have crumbled like a house of cards.
Only 9.5
9.5 back, and I think Aaron Boone may be looking for a new job come the end of the season because the Yankees
He is in New York, and the criticisms are running pretty deep.
Yeah.
When they're winning, he's a fine coach. When they're losing, he's a terrible coach. So losing's going to get him out.
Kind of sounds like a Steelers fan, huh?
Hey, as long as we win, we're going to the Super Bowl. We lose that one game, we're out of luck. But we appreciate you watching the show. We're getting down near the end of this show, folks. I'm thinking we only got a minute or so to go. I don't know what my control room's going to tell me, but we're sort of winding this stuff down.
I'm going to be on Chris Moore's show Sunday at 5. Hope you call in.
Man, I'm going to be at MCing.
That's right.
I'll be MCing the Pittsburgh or the Bethel Park Flood Relief Family Fun Night, fun afternoon, 4 to 7. I may be a little tied up, Smokin' Jim, because MC's got to talk a little bit, and that's why they got me there, help promoting the sponsors and stuff.
I'll shout you out.
And I could try to call in, but I don't know if I'll get a break to do it.
Shout out.
Yeah, tell Chris Moore I said hello.
all goes well, I'll be resting.
Have a good rest. Again, I'll be at Independence Middle School, 4 o'clock to 7. Smoking Jim will be on KDKA, 5 o'clock till 6. And if you call in, you may wait 15 minutes till you can talk to Smoking Jim. Not due to him talking, due to commercials. Somehow they have a lot of commercials. I've been on the phone 20 minutes waiting to talk to my man. And I tell him, we're just about done. I got the thumbs up. I'm going to end this show. Thanks to all of you for watching our show and putting up with this live show without our regular Devin Shea. We had Jacob here, we had Johnny, and we had Zach come in at the last minute. Brought us through with some pirate talk. This is Al Levine saying good night, and stay Joey strong.
Behind the wheel, there is no such thing as a small distraction. A public service reminder from the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons. Speak out against distracted driving at decidetodrive.org.
Hi, Bethel Park. Uncle Al speaking. I'm asking you to come help us behind the scenes at BP TV. We're looking for some proud Bethel Park residents to help us make the shows that you want to watch. For more information, contact Station Director Dave Cable, and we will see you behind the cameras at BP TV.
Hi Bethel Park, remember me? My name is Jason Planitzer. I was the host of a little show here. You may have seen it. It was called The Jason Planitzer Show.
What would you say your experience at BPTV, how has that had an impact on your life?
I found my voice. I learned how to be funny. I learned how to create things. I learned how to collaborate with people here. I developed an interest in film and comedy and making videos. It stuck with me. It continued through my life. I got into working on motion pictures. I now I'll produce small videos. I'll work with producers on commercials, television projects, feature films. I scout locations on TV shows and movies, which involves me reading scripts, finding the locations that need to be shot, and collaborating with the director and production designer to find the perfect spot. It all started at BPTV for me.